post-political.
No, I don't think it's post-political.
No.
I think that's a cop-out.
Is it post-hope?
And I don't think it's post-hope either. I think there's something hopeful about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nothing post. I think that's a good word.
Extra.
Yeah, super hope.
Super hope.
This conversation goes back and forth with how it's actually made and what it actually is, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it takes on a dimension of having, like, the participatory, like,
Right.
what level the participatory aspect happens, and I think the projection aspect, too,
Right.
changes the story.
I mean, going back to what you started out, I think like free space or space that is in which people have like more agency than other space, which I think is a political idea.
Every single young person in this country is a potential recruit to the new nation. Everybody recognizes that music was the first expression of the culture. We can see kind of other things coming into the culture, helping to define it.
It's also more material, not wanting it to just be a kind of digital
Yeah.
fog of discussion, but it's kind of physical
We're
material.
using digital media in an analog way.
I
But
feel like being
the
like,
idea of the brick could be that it's one brick towards expanded consciousness and social justice for everybody.
That's what the free speech movement
Was
is
about,
to me. It's
yeah.
like free speech in a lot of ways about a lot of different things.
And not being so specific, but definitely being about empowering individuals, but individuals being able to come together to have a larger power.
Yeah. Like each person can be specific for themselves, or each group, whatever, but
The
and
overarching
maybe
aspect
Yeah.
is about people in general being able to participate in that way in the world,
yeah,
and not have it tamped down by whoever is deciding how social media works or what information we get.
Tamped down or so dispersed through
That
digital
it's
media that
ineffectual.
it's ineffectual, yeah.
but there has to be like a bigger idea. But I think we have that. I think it is like that individual empowerment in this digital age with media dispersal. What we've been talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
and that whole thing about the active body participating in, or like participation is activating your body in this movement.
And that's where the dance comes in really
Yes.
well.
So is it important that it be an aggregation of similar or identical parts?
I like the idea of them all being identical because it's almost how everything gets evened out on the internet, that we all want to like personalize what these social media presences are, but at the end of the day, they're all the same thing.
I think that's where like the idea of the form actually reacting to bodies is interesting. The individualism is actually your body.
The area of immediate concern is the academic community. But what is happening there is happening to all of us.
I feel like this is totally like a happening. It's like art performance, but it's participatory. But there's like maybe instructions given to the participants. And then you come together and you make it happen. And then sometimes that leaves an artifact, which is kind of what we're talking about.
divided the whole college up into 3 groups. Group 1 was shit work, and that's all the dittos, typing, just running around making arrangements for anything that have to be done. Graphics is also included in there. Group 2 was defined as internal education. It's their major responsibility to set up programs that educate everyone that's involved in the strike so that everyone can ideally be an expert on Southeast Asia and all of the issues that relate to U.S. involvement in Southeast Asia. Also coordinating all of our informational resources. They gather other information, compile fact sheets, and we have liaisons with other groups on the campus, so we get a hold of what they have, and then they give all that to Group 1, and Group 1 types it out, and dittos it, so we have a stock. And then Group 3 is the action groups. These are all the groups that go out into the community and various canvassing activities. There's one group that's doing child care centers. They're working on, I believe, 6 child care centers right now that are actual community service projects where they go and talk to the people in the neighborhood or at the school, discuss with them what they need, generate a design, round up all the materials, and build it.
Which was part of the critique of it that I never really agreed with. That was actually its power. What was interesting about it was it wasn't unclear what they were angry about. It was just it was harnessed into a different sort of way of thinking of things. And their lack of a political platform was part of the problem. We want to have the point of social justice, physical manifestation of presence of, kind of political presence of real aggregations of groups wrote a better world, full of hope, but also a certain amount of anger and a certain amount of recognition of despair.
There must be an end to the violent disruption of the campus, and the end must begin now.
The object is the surface of a lot of these things, you know what I mean? Like, at a certain point, the form can carry its own message and symbolism, but it's about the participation and actually having people engaging in it that accomplishes a lot of these. So designing something that people can really engage with and isn't so complicated that someone couldn't decide to participate as they're walking by in sprawl is like pretty crucial.
The goal then could be always to see if people can't aggregate into a heart form of some kind, but it will always be a kind of strange, imperfect, odd.
And maybe it is about the amorphous result that you get from an
How many
aggregate.
people show up? Like
You're talking
what
about the
they want.
595 likes, it's basically putting all these, if each one is an individual heart and each one is like a like, then what does that really amount to? And none of us seem to know that ever, because first they see this shelter or like pavilion type thing, and then
Their whole other
it totally
understanding
changes
comes.
when all these people gather underneath and become like, it becomes something completely different.
Yeah.
And I think there can be people who are just observers who are maybe inside of it, and they can decide whether they want to wear one or not, and they see. But it's also just a completely different experience to be outside of it or inside of it versus actually part of it.
That's the meaning behind the thing on the wall too.
Right.
It's in
It's a party
anticipation
schedule.
of a party.
Add your freedom to the heart pile. There's a magnet in your heart.
Pepper Public, everybody take heart.
Cloud heart, tunnel spaceship, space of meaning and emptiness. You can always hold hands with someone.
The heart is where the home. No, heart is. Fog is orange, passion pink, white the heart, blood hard and dry.
Eat heart-shaped pie. There are no strangers here, only friends you haven't met yet.
Heart yourself so that you may heart others. Mind of pink in action group.
Take off your shirt, wear the heart.
The heart is the answer. Let it boil over and boil out into a human pyramid heart cloud.
The heart is a guiding force.
Credibility intact, unite humanity, everybody.
The media isn't the most powerful entity on earth, it's your heart. Give it up, give in to the social media heart.
Double culture structure heart.
Heart people pyramids forever.
When we know not where nor what.
Are you you? You is you. We are heart-free space.
Your theory, mine no more, stick me public.
Paper heart, my true nature.
I like how it all came from you're asking if someone had a
A
terrible
terrible
piece of
Good ideas come from strange places.